I recently took a trip down to Burleigh Heads, a coastal suburb along the Gold Coast. It's definitely one of my favourite spots along the coast to visit. Normally when I'm down there, I'm hanging out at the beach, maybe doing a coastal walk down the Nashville Park, or even chowing down some food. Definitely has more of a local vibe to it. I think if you're travelling through the Gold Coast or travelling through the East Coast, definitely check it out, as I'm sure most Australians already know about this spot. I brought my Mamiya RZ67 with me, had no real idea of what I was going to do, kind of just was going to wing it, head down to the beach, wanted to go for a swim, so I thought I'd do that, and then actually I figured I'd wait till golden hour to shoot some more unique light. That gave me time for a bit of a swim and so I could hang out beforehand. As most of you probably already know, there's quite a few bushfires happening in Australia, and it's created this really smoky, hazy kind of look in the sky. The situation is definitely not ideal, but it does create some interesting looks to some of the photographs. I'm a little bit obsessed with palm trees, so I broke the ice with a couple shots of these larger looking ones on the park field. I definitely liked how the palm trees were backlit in this situation. I made sure to overexpose by a stop so I could get the detail in the shadows, and I think the apartments in the back contribute quite nicely to that coastal kind of vibe. I seem to be enjoying capturing landscapes with more kind of layers to them. Here you can see you've got the grass at the front and the palm trees, a bit more greenery at the back, and then you've got the apartments, and then beyond that you've got more greenery. Which meets the sky, so adds more layers to it, gives more interesting things to look at, focuses your attention more further into the scene. At this point I stumbled across the VW Kombi bus. It was golden hour at this point, so there was a nice glow over these images and created a nice feel to it. I think I would have preferred a different kind of backdrop to this scene, maybe nice foliage or maybe some nice greenery. Seeing the Kombi immersed in some nature would have been cool, or even like a vintage style house in the background would have been nicer. I think the kind of the barrier in the car park didn't give that kind of nice feel to the image. Next to the Kombi you actually had this other white van, and it had this towel, quick dry kind of towel hanging out the window, and I took a few photos of that. It just was blowing the wind quite nicely. Super simple scene, but I think the blue contrasted quite well with the white van. Maybe some motion blur on the towel would have done it more justice and captured it more of this essence of the scene. I walked a bit further towards Nashville Park and actually stumbled upon this cool looking apartment building. I find I'm always attracted to earthy tones and complementing colours. This scene you had the brown, the black, the golden white, and also the green, and it complemented each other really well, and I thought it kind of made the scene have that kind of natural feel to it. I've actually been thinking of ideas for designs, and I was thinking of doing one on a coastal town, something like Burley, which has a unique feel to it. To be honest, the dream would be to drive down all the way to Sydney and capture all the coastal towns along the way. I think it'd make for a really cool design, and there's some really unique places. You've got Byron Bay, Coffs Harbour, Newcastle, and things like that would be cool to photograph. Hopefully this is something I can do in the near future. This is actually my first time using the 6x7 back. Before that I was using the 645 back. It definitely gave some added detail to the shots. I'd like to try out on some portraits and see how the depth of field differs between the 645 and 6x7. The corner shot from the Volvo was definitely my favourite from that set. I used to shoot a lot of minimalist scenes when I was shooting digital. Nowadays I'm shooting more complex landscape kind of scenes, so it's nice to bring it back to those simpler moments. Afterwards I headed towards Burley Hills, a perfect place to chill on like an afternoon when the sun is setting. People have the same idea, so there was quite a few people having picnics, chilling out on the grass and using the public spaces. I managed to capture a few good moments of people looking out at the ocean and the beach, and yeah, just enjoying the golden hour. It's normally quite impossible to shoot any kind of street photography with the RZ67, but I was able to be quite discreet behind these people, and it gave me time to meter for the light and yeah, just take a bit more time, and which you need for the Mamiya. Burleigh Heads is definitely known for its unique kind of trees. I'm not sure what they're called, but they definitely made appearances in a few of my shots. After this I took a walk through Burleigh National Park. At this point the sun was actually setting and it created for some really nice golden tones, as well as this soft look to a lot of the images because it had that nice even light. A few of the shots are actually a little bit underexposed, but I think this is where medium format really plays in well. You're able to actually bring up the shadows quite a bit and bring back that detail. As you walk further down Burleigh National Park, you start to look back on Burleigh Heads itself. It creates for some really nice landscapes. I was actually quite conservative with my shots that day. I think I only shot through 2 rolls, and towards the end of my second roll I stopped at a few places on the way back to Brisbane and kind of shot a few pictures of people's houses and random things along the way. At this point as well, the sky was producing some really cool colours. I definitely plan to do a few more days like this. It's fun to just get out and have no real agenda of what you're going to do and just kind of wing it as you go along. But yeah, let's see if I can do a few more of these. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, subscribe if you're enjoying my content, and make sure to check out my Instagram for more of my film photography and things like that. But yeah, thanks so much. Peace.